Hi, and welcome to this short video on our new feature for the report module, the analyzer. Today in this video, I'm just going to walk you through the analyzer and I'm going to show you how it works and how you can benefit from it as users. So, as I said, the analyzer is a feature that we have added to the report module. And basically, the analyzer is an interactive tool within the report that you have created, and it allows you to investigate data by segments and dive further into the report's figures. Basically, the analyzer is a little report within the report that you have created. So, as I said, because it is in the report module, we're going to go here. And because it's a feature for the report module, the analyzer is now a component that you see here that you can choose from. So a component or a visualization that you can choose when creating reports. It's important to remember that right now the analyzer is only available when creating baseline reports. So if you try and create a benchmark report, you will not be able to access the analyzer. So now I'm going to show you the analyzer in a report, and I have cheated a little. So I have already created one that you see here where we have the analyzer in it. So I have created a fictional report on a fictional sales team, and then I have incorporated the analyzer. So when you go to the analyzer in the report, it looks like this. And first I'm going to show it to you without the benchmark. So what you see here is basically it's an overview of all the competences that are in your report and in your platform. And then you will be able to see these bars that represent exactly how your respondents in this group have answered and how they have scored on all the competences. Over here to the left, you have a box called Analyzer Settings, and you have a box called Choose Segments of Respondents. And of course, in the Analyzer Settings, this is where you can choose whether you want a specific competence to analyze on or whether you want a specific question to analyze on. This is also where you can add a title to the analysis and you can add a description. It's the choose segments for respondents that's a little more interesting because this is where you choose the actual data within the report that you want to segment on. The fields that you see here are reflected by your filter questions. That means that the segments that you can choose here are based on the filter questions that you already have. So that means, for example, we have a fictional sales team, and if I want to dive deeper into, let's say, the respondents of the women within that sales team, we choose woman here. And now it will show you the answers of 5 respondents. And then you will now be able to see exactly how the women within your report or within the group that you've chosen have scored on the specific competences. The other thing I'm going to show you, which is really cool, is the setting that I started off by taking off. That is the one called Show Benchmark. So the benchmark or the benchmark score kind of enables you to see how your respondents meet your expectations or requirements for specific competences. You set the benchmark score in the competence management page, and I will show you that in just a little while. But the reason why the benchmark score can be useful is that, for example, if you have an expected score or like a minimum score that you would like your respondents to at least meet, you can set them as a benchmark score for all your competences. And the way that it works is we have the benchmark here, and the benchmark score you set is the one you see on the white dots and the white line. For the simplicity of it, I set almost all of them to 50, and then I just set storage. I set storage to 80, and that's just so you can see that you can of course create different benchmark scores for different competences. And if you hold the cursor over the dots, you will also be able to see exactly what is the benchmark, and how is the score for that specific competence from the benchmark. And that's what the white dots represent. The bars here represent the specific competences, and the user's answers are scores on the competences. The other thing it also represents is that if you hold your cursor over the bars, you will be able to see exactly how many percent that this group of respondents is over or under the benchmark that you set. And then you will, of course, also be able to see their aggregated score for that group. See that right now the bars have different colors, and that's what you can see at the top. At the top, we have a color bar, and the color bar indicates also how they have scored in relation to the benchmark. That means, as you see, storage is red, and that's because it's way below the benchmark that we set of 80%. And here you can specifically see that storage for this group, they are a minus 20% below the benchmark that we set. So, the more red the bar is, the more under they are on the benchmark score. And on the opposite hand, we have the greener it is, the more above the benchmark score the respondents are. So you can, for example, see it in the one with health. Here you can see they're 18% above the benchmark score of 50 that we set, and that makes the bar greener. We have law. This is yellow because they're 6% under the benchmark score, so that's not still under, but it's not quite a lot. So you can see that on the color bar up there. The place where you set the benchmark score is actually on the specific competences. So now we're just going to go to the competence management page, you see here. And what you basically do is that you just set your benchmark score on each competence. So we'll just do communication as an example. You press it, and as you now see, there's a little field down here called benchmark score. And that is basically just where you set it. It is important to remember that because MapUs works in percentages, we rarely set it higher than 100%. Usually you wouldn't set a benchmark score that was higher than 100. So if you have a benchmark score that's a 100%, of course write 100, but it doesn't really make sense to set a benchmark score that's higher than 100. So do 100 or below, and then you will be golden. I hope this video was useful to you. If you need any help or have any questions or anything, you are more than welcome to contact us on our email, support@mapus.io.